Hey guys, it's Yvette, and I am here with another book review. This time it is for Pieces of Her, again by Karin Slater. This is Karin Slater's latest book, and of course after, one book in between, I had to read another of her books. So, like as I'd said before in talking about Pretty Girls, I kind of had to take a break after one of her books, and then I'm right back to it. So here's the synopsis of Pieces of Her by Karin Slater. Sorry, slaughter. Like slaughterhouse. Karin Slaughter. Okay. What if the person you thought you knew best turns out to be someone you never knew at all? Andrea knows everything about her mother, Laura. She knows she's spent her whole life in the small beachside town of Belle Isle. She knows she's never wanted anything more than to live a quiet life as a pillar of the community. She knows she's never kept a secret in her life, because we all know our mothers, don't we? But all that changes when a trip to the mall explodes into violence and Andrea suddenly sees a completely different side to Laura. Because it turns out that before Laura was Laura, she was someone completely different. For nearly 30 years, she's been hiding from her previous identity, lying low in the hope that no one would ever find her. But now she's been exposed, and nothing will ever be the same again. The police want answers, and Laura's innocence is on the line, but she won't speak to anyone, including her own daughter. Andrea is on a desperate journey, following the breadcrumb trail of her mother's past. And if she can't uncover the secrets hidden there, there may be no future for either one of them. And then there's a huge note from the author. I'm not going to read all that. It's like really long, and then it talks about, she doesn't give any spoilers, obviously, but I'm not going to read all that. So I gave this book 5 stars out of 5. I thought this story was phenomenal. I'm telling you, I'm loving Karin Slaughter. Totally loving her. I have to, I'm going to, one at a time get all her books. I got to read them. Apparently she has a series out. And the series is with Will and Sarah. And so I don't know. Like I said, I've just discovered her, and I don't know about the Will and Sarah books. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. If you guys know anything, please let me know. Because to me, the first thing is to figure out which books are Will and Sarah, and then in what order I have to read them, because it's not always cut and dried. So I'm going to figure all that out, and I'm going to be reading the Will and Sarah stories too. I can't wait to do that. But this book here, it's just like every other Karin Slaughter book that I've read where, there's no easing into the story. It's almost like, you're just you're thrust into the middle of this like whirlwind of activity and violence and just upheaval, and so you're in the story, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And you can't stop reading it. You almost don't want to read it, because that she is like no holds barred, right? Like she tells a story like the story needs to be told. And have I said I love this author? I can't believe I didn't know about her. I think she's Australian though, but I'm not sure. All her stories take place in the US, so I'm really not 100% sure. I need to find out more about her. Oh, in fact, what does it say? I just saw that there's like, there was a book called The Good Daughter. I did read that one too, but it's been so long since I read it now that I'm not sure. What? Oh, okay, you know what? She's not Australian. It says, a native of Georgia, Karin Slaughter lives in Atlanta. So she's not even Australian. I thought she was maybe not from the U.S., and that's why I hadn't heard of her. Why have I not heard of this woman? I love her books so far. Okay, so about going back to this story. So this story, you're like thrown into it like right from the beginning. And then you start sort of finding out at the same time as Andrea, and they call her Andy. So Andy, Andrea, if you hear that, it's her, still her. And it's like gradually we are like being fed little pieces of her mother's life. And it's, again, a story that's told in the present and in the past, and then the present and in the past. And then as it's being told and you're learning more about the past, you know, as things unfold, you're going, oh, okay, I know who that is now. And now I know who it was back then, and I see what's going on. And then, you know, you're in, and the whole story. I mean, people who can write stories like this, God bless them. I mean, just unbelievable. And I love this line right here where it says, following the breadcrumb trail. That's what it felt like. And it kept me going. Like I couldn't wait to start listening again. Like if I had to do anything for whatever, like I would drive home and then I get home and of course I've got videos to make and stuff, so I can't be listening to books. But the whole time I'm thinking, can I listen? Can I listen? Can I listen? And so this book I highly recommend. As I have said before, Karin Slaughter uses plenty of foul language. If you don't like that, you won't like this book. Her violent scenes are very real to life. So if you are skittish about that, or you think, oh my gosh, that's too much, then this is not the book for you. She's not the author for you, period. I mean, all her books are like that. So I actually like that. So, you know, everybody likes something different. So I'm just letting you know up front, if you don't like that, please don't pick up this book. Ignore my review. Don't get it. I don't know what else to say. But if those things don't bother you, or if you actually really enjoy those, I cannot recommend this book enough. I love it. And I will see you next time with more reviews. Bye. Hey, JB.